Asia. Location and extent. Asia is the largest continent in the world. It is surrounded by the Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Arctic Ocean and the Caspian Sea. It lies between 10 degrees south and 80 degrees north latitude. Asia, the largest of all the continents, covers 30% of the land surface of the globe. Some parts of the Central Asia are more than 2,400 kilometers from the sea. The area of the continent is 4,42,50,000 square kilometers. It is about 14 times the size of India. Physical features, landforms and rivers. Asia is the continent of mountains, plateaus and river valleys. It is unique among continents in having a mountainous heart. It may be divided into 5 major physical divisions. They are 1. The northern lowlands, 2. The central mountain belt, 3. The southern plateaus, 4. The great river valleys and 5. Island groups. 1. The northern lowlands. The northern part of the continent is a vast lowland called the Siberian Plain. The rivers Ob, Yenisei and Lena flow from south to north and drain into the Arctic Ocean. The water coming from the upper courses of the rivers spreads over a large part of the plain. 2. The central mountain belt. South of the northern lowlands is a great belt of mountains and plateaus. The mountain chain of the Himalayas, Karakoram and Kunlun run towards the east. The plateau of Tibet, enclosed by the Himalayas and Kunlun, is the largest and highest plateau of the world. Mount Everest in the Himalayas is the highest peak in the world. The vast, cool desert of Gobi is in this region. 3. The southern plateaus. To the south of this mountain belt, there are some plateaus of very old rocks. These are the Plateau of Arabia, the Deccan Plateau and the Plateau of Shan and Yunnan. 4. The great river valleys. These are the lowlands made up of alluvium brought down by the great Asian rivers. Some of the important river valleys are Indo-Gangetic Plain, Tigris and Euphrates Plain in Iraq, Irrawaddy River Valley in Burma, and Mekong in Southeast Asia. In China, the Huanghe, the Yangtze Kiang and the Sikiang are the important river valleys. Climate, temperature and rainfall. Asia is a huge continent. It extends from the equator to the polar region. There are great differences in elevation. In winter, the central parts of Asia have temperatures below freezing point. They pick up moisture when they blow over the sea and then cause rainfall. Japan, parts of Southeast Asia, the southeastern coast of India and Sri Lanka receive rain in this season. Parts of Southwest Asia receive rainfall from winds blowing eastwards from the Mediterranean Sea. In the summer season, the interior of Asia becomes very hot. As the air is heated, it expands. It becomes light and low pressure area develops in this region. Forests and wildlife. There are great variations in natural vegetation and wildlife of Asia. The northern coast of Asia is mostly covered with snow and ice. The vegetation in this belt is called tundra vegetation. South of tundra is known as taiga with coniferous forest. This region is famous for softwood trees. Taiga region is home of fur-bearing animals such as fox, sable and mink. To the south of taiga is the belt of temperate grasslands known as the steppe. The common animals of South, West and Central Asia are camel, ass, gazelle and cheetah. Population distribution and important cities. Asia is the largest and most densely populated continent in the world. It is a land of ancient civilization. The population of Asia is about 2,900 million. The continent of Asia supports about 65% of the world's population, mostly in the fertile river valleys, coastal plains, deltas and cities. There are certain regions in Asia with very sparse population. In northern and eastern parts of Siberia, the deserts and highlands of Central Asia, the Arabian Desert and the Thar Desert of India, the population is thinly scattered. 1/3 of the population of Eastern and Southeastern Asia constitute Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, Filipino, Malay, Indonesian, Thai and Burmese. 1/4 of the population of Asia are in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh and South Asian countries. China has the largest population in the world. It is so large that one can say that every 5th person in the world is a Chinese. The population of China is estimated about 1,277.6 million. Peking, Shanghai, Canton and Nanking are the important cities in China. India is the 7th largest country in the world and the 2nd most densely populated. The population of India is 102.7 crores according to 2001 census. The thickly populated parts of India are the plains and deltas of Ganges, Brahmaputra, Kaveri, Krishna, Godavari and Mahanadi. West Bengal, Bihar and Kerala are the thickly populated parts of India. The areas which are sparsely populated are Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Sikkim, Jammu and Kashmir. Greater Mumbai has a population of over 16.3 million and Kolkata over 13.2 million, Delhi 12.8 million. The other important cities are Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, etc. Pakistan is our western neighbor. Karachi, Lahore and Islamabad are important cities in Pakistan. Kathmandu is the capital city of Nepal. It is situated in the lap of the Himalayas. It is also known as Himalayan Kingdom. Bhutan is India's northern neighbor. Thimphu is the capital of Bhutan. Bangladesh is our eastern neighbor and is densely populated. Dhaka and Chittagong are important cities. Rangoon and Mandalay are important cities in Burma. Sri Lanka is a small island in the Indian Ocean. It is called Teardrop in the Indian Ocean. Colombo and Kandy are important cities. Malaysia and Indonesia are two Southeast Asian countries. Indonesia is the largest group of islands in the world. Kuala Lumpur and Singapore are important cities in Malaysia. Jakarta, Surabaya, and Bandung are important cities of Indonesia. Japan is a small East Asian country which is also called Nippon in their native language. Nippon means land of rising sun. It is one of the densely populated countries of the world. The density of population is about 300 per square kilometer. Tokyo, Osaka, Nagasaki, and Yokohama are important cities of Japan. Agriculture. Asia is a continent rich in agricultural resources. Fertile soils, assured water supply from the rivers, irrigation facilities, and favorable climatic conditions help in agriculture. The Bakra Nangal project in India and other projects in Siberia on river Angara are big multi-purpose projects useful for irrigation, flood control, and soil conservation. There are several types of agriculture in Asia. Shifting agriculture, intensive agriculture, and extensive agriculture are important farming practices. Shifting agriculture is practiced in mountainous and forest areas. The intensive agriculture is common in many parts of Asia. It involves a lot of manual labor for sowing, transplantation, weeding, manuring, and harvesting the crop. Various crops are grown in Asia. Cereals are important and rice is the chief crop in most parts of the continent. China, Japan, India, Bangladesh, and Southeast Asian countries are main producers of rice. Wheat is grown in Russia, China, northern India, Pakistan, and Southwest Asia. Millets, pulses, and oilseeds are also grown in Asia. The important cash crops of Asia are cotton, jute, sugarcane, tobacco, coffee, and tea. Minerals. Minerals are natural resources obtained from the earth. They are dug out from mines, so they are called minerals. Asia is a rich continent in mineral resources. Some of the important minerals of Asia are iron, manganese, tungsten, bauxite, mica, tin, coal, and oil. Iron ore is found in India, China, and Russia. India is very rich in iron ore deposits. They are mostly located in South Bihar, Orissa, and West Bengal. Countries of Southwest Asia possess large deposits of oil. Leading producers of oil are Kuwait, Bahrain, Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia. Industries. Asia is rich in mineral resources and hydroelectric power. Textiles, sugar, vegetable oil, tobacco, paper, and rubber are some of the industries depending upon agriculture. Iron and steel, shipbuilding, automobile, aircraft, fertilizers, cement, chemicals, electronics, and oil refining are some of the modern industries of Asia. Japan is a highly industrialized country in Asia. In spite of the paucity of minerals and raw materials, the principal industries are iron and steel, shipbuilding, textiles, chemicals, electronics, and paper. Transportation. There are several modes of transport in Asia. Rivers are the convenient and natural means of transport in the tundra and taiga regions. Camels, donkeys, horses, bullocks, mules, and elephants are the convenient means of transport in different regions of Asia. An international highway connecting Istanbul in Turkey with Singapore in Southeast Asia is being constructed. India possesses a thick network of railways. Japan has an efficient railway network. Ships leaving Bombay carry textiles, oilseeds and small engineering goods to Southwest Asia and East Africa. Ships proceeding to Japan are loaded with iron ore. Calcutta, Bombay, Singapore, Hong Kong and Vladivostok are some of the important seaports of Asia. Trade, exports and imports. Asia is a continent of several countries. It leads the world in the production of various crops. It possesses large deposits of minerals. Most of the countries of Asia export raw materials and import manufactured goods from European countries. Tea, spices, rubber, copra, sugar, coffee and jute are some of the exports. Finished goods are the important imports. India exports sugar, leather, yarn, precious stones, crude minerals, coffee, etc. and imports machinery, petroleum products, iron and steel, chemicals, fertilizers, etc. Nepal exports a wide variety of animal products. Burma exports rice and teak. Sri Lanka exports tea, rubber, coconut, spices, etc. and imports rice. Malaysia exports rubber, tin, coconut oil and pineapples and imports rice, machinery and textiles. Indonesia exports rubber, sugar, tobacco, cinchona, etc. and imports rice. China and Japan exports electrical goods, chemicals, glass. Repeat. China exports electrical goods, chemicals, glass, silk and tobacco. Exports and imports of raw materials and finished products indicates the country's economic development.